Hey, good day, folks. Welcome to Andrew's Life. Happy holiday to everybody. Hope everybody's doing good today. Well, as some of you guys know, I'm always online. I'm always surfing YouTube. I'm always watching different kind of videos. Now, recently, I've been watching a lot of videos dealing with this whole black fatigue thing. And it turns out that what I've said about black fatigue, when I made my video about black fatigue, it turns out what I've been saying has been correct. Now, some of you guys, you were in the comments on that video and you were assuring me that people who got black fatigue, people who are non-black with black fatigue, you guys are not putting all of us in the same category. You're not. But in as much as I like to believe that, I'm beginning to doubt that. And I'm doubting that because I've noticed a huge uptick in white conservative YouTube channels. And I've been watching some of their videos. And then I look in the comments to see what their viewers put in the comments. And the comments are quite disturbing. I mean, there's been a lot of bad comments. Like, for an example, there's been a lot of their viewers that they might call us monkeys. They'll call us monkeys. They'll call us lazy. you know, they'll talk. I mean, they'll say we need to go back to Africa. We don't belong in the United States. And there's comments like, uh, they'll be willing to take 100 of us and ship us to Africa for one South African white. This all kind of degenerate stuff against black people. And the fact that Mrs. Hendricks, Shallow Hendricks, became a millionaire within a matter of a month for simply calling a child the N word. That's also disturbing to me. And the fact that they call this whole situation black fatigue. I mean, if black fatigue, I mean, I don't know how to even say it, but now for those of you that are telling me that when non-blacks claim they got black fatigue, they're not talking about all black people. My question to you guys is, why then are you using the term black fatigue? Why don't you use something like the fatigue of degenerate behavior, something like that, or degeneracy fatigue? Why they gotta use the word black fatigue? I mean, as I've said before, and I'll say it again, there are good and bad people in all communities, in all ethnicities. And another thing I wanted to mention before I forget is, 3 weeks ago, I made a video titled, "Are Black People Committing Most of the Crime in the United States?" That was the title of the video. And on that video, I go over the arrest records that have been collected by the FBI. Go and watch that video. And that video will debunk a lot of the bullshit that's being regurgitated when it comes to black people committing the majority of the crime in the United States. Go watch that video. If you don't want to watch that video, fine. You can go online and you can look at the FBI data for yourself. And again, it will debunk all this regurgitation that you guys have been hearing, that many of you guys have been believing about black people committing the majority of the crime in the United States. And obviously, as a black person myself, I do get sick and tired of hearing that over and over and over again. It gets old after a while. And I also, and I know some of you are going to probably say, well, okay, well, why do I care? I'm not a criminal, so why do I care? Well, the reason why I care is because I understand the effects that it will have at some point for when it comes to A, black people looking for employment, B, when it comes to our interaction with law enforcement, and I mean, yeah, those are the main reasons why I'm concerned. Because to me, when you tell somebody time and time again that black people are a bunch of criminals, black people are a bunch of thugs, black men are always painted in the worst image. Like every time you cut on the TV, every time you cut on your 6 o'clock news, there's always a face of a black man doing something that he ain't got no business doing. But a lot of times, if someone white commits a crime, a lot of times it's gonna not be broadcasted as much as when a black person commits a crime. And so, yeah, I mean, I am concerned about that. I really am. I mean, I am. I mean, and also for all the black folk, I mean, also for all the people in the black community that might want to start their own business. Like, you might have somebody that might want to start a business being an electrician or a business being a plumber or a business cleaning houses or cutting grass, landscaping. Now, it's going to make it harder for us to start businesses because, again, when our customers, even fellow black people, when they look at us, they're not going to see an entrepreneur doing honest work and making money. I mean, subconsciously, they're going to see somebody that is troubled, to put it nicely. And they're not going to want to give us their business. They're going to want to hire the white or the Mexican to do their work, not anybody black. And of course, when it comes to law enforcement, like I said, if you get pulled over, you got certain law enforcement officials that, again, when they see somebody that looks like me, they're not even going to see a human being. They're going to see someone who they believe is going to be trouble. They're going to see somebody who they believe is going to be a savage. I don't know how else to put it. They're not even going to see, they're not going to see me the same way they would see somebody that's white. So, yeah, that's why this whole black fatigue thing is downright dangerous for black people. And again, for those of you that are black, that are agreeing with this whole black fatigue thing, you're talking about, yeah, I got black fatigue too. To be quite frank, I don't think half of you even know what you're truly saying, what you're truly agreeing with. I don't think half of you really know. I don't think half of you are. I don't think half of you are grasping how dangerous it is to have a group of people. And yes, I realize that not all white people think like this. In fact, I would like to think that the majority of white people don't think like this. But there's enough white folks who do think like this. Enough of them that turned Shiloh Hendrix into a millionaire within a month. So with that being said, that's very dangerous. Because some of those people that claim to have black fatigue, they they work in law enforcement. They work at your local hospital as doctors, nurses, your surgeon. They might work at your local drugstore as a pharmacist. They might work as a firefighter, and and Lord knows, some of these people work also as your local and state and even your federal level politicians. So some of these people work in very high places. They make decisions that could make or break your life. They make decisions that could be the difference of you being alive and you not being alive. So with all that being said, for those of you that are black, you really need to do some hard thinking about this whole black fatigue situation. Now, I do understand that I do understand the frustration that many of you are feeling due to the shenanigans that been going on with some of these cases. Like, I'm bad at names, but you guys know what I mean. Like with some of the cases that been going on in this country recently, I understand your frustration. Justice isn't being served. People that are criminals are being looked upon as a victim, and people that are the victim, they're being treated as if they're the criminal. I get the frustration, and I feel the same way. Like I told you guys the other day, I don't participate in no type of code. The only code I go by is what's right and what's wrong. That's it. So I get the frustration. But at this point, this whole black fatigue thing has turned into this downright hate and degenerate behavior. And yes, as a black person, that makes me a little nervous. It really does. I'm not gonna lie. I'm I'm not gonna lie. It makes me a little nervous because as often as I travel, I never know when I might run into one of those people that feel that way about black people. They got black fatigue. And to me, when someone who's non-black says they got black fatigue, to me, I look at that as the new school way of claiming your dislike for black people. That's how I look at it. I mean, I'm sorry. That's just how I look at it. And I'm not in any way, shape, or form saying that black people are angels. I mean, we got our issues like everybody else has their issues. Like I said before, we got our issues in the black community like every other community has their issues. I mean, and honestly, if the name was changed or if the name was different, like if Black Fatigue was called something different, like let's say degeneracy fatigue or YN fatigue, anything like that, hey man, I wouldn't be tripping. In fact, I would probably side with many of you and say, yeah, I got YN fatigue too. But those are not the names you guys chose. You guys specifically chose black fatigue, which which means that you guys generally think that black people are we're the ones that are exhibiting we're the ones that are exhibiting the majority of the degeneracy in this country, and that simply isn't true. Like I said, go and look at the FBI data, and that would debunk a lot of that stuff. And like I said, my way, I mean, I was going to answer this. Well, I'm all over the place. I'm sorry, people. But, anyways, my way of dealing with all this hate that's going on in this country is, like I said before, and I'll say it again. If you rock with me, I rock with you. I don't care what race you are. It don't make a difference to me. If you rock with me, I rock with you. And like I said, wherever I choose to live, if I do move again, I don't plan on moving again, but if I did, I'm going to just make sure that I reside in a community to where I'm at least respected. And when it comes to my dealings with people, I mean, I'm very much an introvert, so I don't deal with a lot of people anyway. But whenever I deal with people, I'm going to deal with people that are not ignorant. I mean, I'm not gonna stand around and try to explain myself to certain kind of people. I'm not gonna explain myself to certain kind of people. I mean, I'm not gonna do it. It's a waste of my time. It's tiring. It's a headache. I'm not doing it because I realize that some people that feel some kind of way are super ignorant, and me trying to reason with the ignoramus, I'm just not willing to do it. I don't got the energy, don't got the tolerance. I'm not doing it. Cause my attitude is, if you don't like me, you don't like me. That's your right. If you don't like black people, that's your right. Or if you don't like my views on certain things, again, that's your right. But I'm not gonna like in real life. I'm not gonna put myself in a situation to where I'm finding myself walking on eggshells with people. I'm not gonna put myself in a situation to where I'm finding myself always having to justify my actions, always having to explain myself in hopes that people understand what I'm doing and why I'm doing it and they don't hate me for it. I'm not doing all that. I am not doing all that. And for those of you that are decent human beings, again, it doesn't matter what your race is. For those of you that are decent human beings, if you know you're a decent human being, don't ever put yourself in a situation to where where you're walking on eggshells, to where you feel you have to justify your actions. You have to explain yourself because you're afraid if you don't, then people are gonna feel some kind of way about you. Don't do that. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your energy. Because a lot of these people that feel a certain way are a bunch of ignoramuses as far as I'm concerned. And I mean that's just all there is to it. And I believe that, like I said, I would at least like to believe that there's that there's way more white folks out here that are normal, that are well rounded, that don't have black fatigue. I mean, they might get frustrated from time to time of certain behaviors that might come out of the black community. I do myself, but they don't have black fatigue though. You know what I'm saying? And I believe there's way more white folks that are well rounded than there are the ones that are degenerates. I would like to believe that anyway, and I do believe it. So that's all I got for this one. Stay blessed out here. I'll catch you guys on the next one.